and welcome to our podcast, Nothing Rhymes with Orange. I'm your host, Karthik Dutt Sharma, and with me, I have today's guest, who is an talented writer, a two-time published author, and an amazing friend. She's Nandini Verma. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, I am Nandini Verma. I am a second year student of journalism and mass communication, and I am an author of two books, that is To Embrace Growth and Hurt, Heal and Help.
Which we have right here. Amazing book, by the way.
Thank
I'm
you.
a big fan.
Thank you.
I've read your previous works as well.
Yes, you have.
And we are usually writing partners. So amazing book, guys. Amazon पे मिल जाएगा. Please buy it.
Thank you.
So Nandini, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is my first time sitting here, so I'm feeling blessed. Thank
This
you.
is our first time. Yeah, this is definitely our first time. This is our first day, right, guys? Anyways, so Nandini, tell me more about Hurt, Heal, and Help.
Okay, so Hurt, Heal and Help is basically about how everyone at some point in our lives we felt like the walls are closing in on us, and it's about this protagonist Shreya, who is dealing with ghosts that come out of her emotional baggage, and they kind of haunt her and they merge themselves into the wall and the walls start closing in on her. So it's an eclectic mix of diverse set of feelings and thoughts. That's what the book is about.
I've been through the book and the metaphors that you use throughout the book, but especially this one, where the baggage ghost merge themselves into the walls and the walls closing in. This is such a relatable metaphor,
Yeah.
yet it is so intricate. Like there is so much depth to it, and I love it. Work of art.
Thank you.
So Nandini, tell me, what inspired you to write this book, or just to write in general? What inspires you?
So the answer to that is depression. We've all been there.
Ayo!
So when I was at a really low point in my life, this story just I felt this, and then the story just kind of came to me, and I knew in that moment that I had to write it down. This was something that was going to be one of my biggest, ideas. This is absolutely, Hurt, Heal and Help, The Baggage Ghost, the story called The Baggage Ghost is one of my biggest ideas so far. And in that moment I knew that I had to write a story about it and definitely put this out there, that in that moment I also recovered from depression. When I wrote this story, it helped me recover and it healed me, and it obviously, I'm trying to help others with the story, so help. So yeah.
I mean, for writers like us, I think writing, just putting out our thoughts, just nibbling on a paper, it is the best medicine.
It's therapeutic.
It's extremely therapeutic. Correct. So, as a writer, I think one of the most important thing is to read other work.
Yes.
Is there any poet or any writer that you gravitate towards?
I gravitate towards particularly two writers, one being Pablo Neruda, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971.
Yeah.
And Dhrupi Kaur, of course, who's the queen of reciting poetry. She is so amazing. She is so brilliant when she's on stage. She's just a goddess.
I'm not the whiskey you need. No, wait. I'm not the whiskey you want, but the water you need.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something.
I've seen a reel. Anyway.
So,
So, true. So, what's your favorite thing about writing? Like the process of it?
writing as a whole is just so enjoyable, right? Like, I feel like, but what I particularly like about writing is how I encounter it with it, like how I receive poetry or ideas or inspiration. So it's like Elizabeth Gilbert in Big Magic. She mentioned this in her book, that she would be standing in a field and this poem would be coming from afar, and then before it leaves her mind, she has to write it down. So I feel like that is something so beautiful, and I felt it so much in that moment. So I feel like writing a piece of poetry before it leaves your mind is something that I really enjoy doing, and it's something very personal, and I love writing in general. Just so
Definitely. I mean, my personal, process of writing is that I think of a word which really like I capture the essence of it, and then I build the whole poem around it. So yeah, it is such a personal thing, right?
Right.
It's very personalized.
Absolutely.
I don't think two people in the world have the same
You were
perception.
telling me the other day that you were bathing and this piece story, that this word just comes to you and then you had to write it down.
Oh my god, don't get me started. I think we have a question which will So yeah, I'll tell you what happened. So I was bathing. I was in the shower. Best ideas do come in shower. And this whole idea of a poem came to my head. I stopped the shower. I came out of my bathroom, dried myself off, wrote it. I might be naked, not confirming. Went back into the shower and started bathing again.
Wow.
And then when I was done, I came out again, and then there is a refining process. So
Aren't you a committed writer?
I am a committed writer. I'm not going through anything. So while we are on it, have you ever experienced the so-called writer's block? I'm going through it right now. I think I've been going through it for a year at this point, and I think I have written 3 poems, and we do not talk about
I
it.
would like to change what I earlier said. He's not a committed writer.
It is my formal apology to the viewers. I am a committed writer, I just haven't been
You
active.
liar.
Stop, I have feelings, Nandini.
Feelings that you've not been penning down.
Oh my god, what is this attack? What is this attack?
Anyway.
So, yeah, how do you deal with a writer's block?
So the best way to deal with writer's block is to sit in silence. And yes, I have been going through a writer's block. Ever since I finished this book, I've been going through a writer's block. I'm working on a new story. I may be working on a new story.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not able to find time or find the inspiration to continue it for some reason. So yeah, writer's block is something I go through, and the best way to deal with writer's block is to sit in silence and deal with what you're personally going through, to deal with your thoughts and to let it resurface so that you can write it.
So, Nandini, you are a very sweet girl, right? Yes, you are. So,
Why are you buttering me up?
I'll ask you something which can be a little controversial, but I do need your opinion.
Okay.
How do you feel about random people putting random lines on their Instagram stories and calling it poetry?
I
Exactly.
need a moment of silence for that.
Exactly. That. Anyways.
So I feel like yes, it's great that they express, but please, it's a humble request, stop calling it poetry.
I think an easy way to just lift yourself up a little from that situation is read more.
Yeah, exactly.
And like there is
If
not
you
a
read more, you connect, like you have better ways to express yourself. You know better ways to express yourself.
yes, you learn different poetic styles. You learn new words. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
I think if you want to be a better writer, read. Karthik ke advice 101. So, Nandini, tell me, how do you get into the process of writing?
How do I get into the process of writing? That's an interesting question.
Describe me. Okay, let's do it this way. Describe your process of writing, and then tell me how do you get into it. Do you even get into it? Does it come just like achanak se to you?
Yes, exactly. It comes.
Yeah, because that is
You know?
what it happens with me that way.
Okay.
As I told,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happened in the shower. So like, tell me. I need to know.
So it comes to me very suddenly. It will come to me out of nowhere. I would not be expecting an idea to come to me, but I'll just be sitting and doing nothing, and that's when it'll hit me, and I have to write it down. So I get the very gist of it, like the idea, like the very basic gist of it. Like when I wrote the story, the only thing that came to mind was the baggage ghosts, and then I built this story around it.
Yeah, I mean, baggage ghost is such an interesting concept.
Exactly, it could have been anything, but then I came up with this story, so it's kind of.
And while going through this, your child, the way you have characterized, baggage ghost, I can see it as an entity.
That's exactly the point of the story. Yes.
Yes, and the way it has, pulled down on the main character, Shreya.
Shreya.
I'm such a big fan of yours. I'm such a big fan after
Tell me
this.
your process of like how do you go out writing?
As I mentioned before, it's like it's something that comes naturally to me, and so it would be like it's very inconsistent, which is
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is very
That
common
makes
with
sense.
writers, but it's not a really good thing.
It's
But yeah, it would be like there will be days where I'll be highly motivated, like ideas would come to me like this,
mm,
and then there would be days when nothing,
nothing. Yeah, you're just blank.
no thought, mind empty. But yeah, and when it does come, what my process is, I'll write down anything that comes to my mind.
Okay.
My brain is moderately good at rhyming, so that helps.
Oh, nice.
And once I do that, I refine it a bit. Grammar, spelling, grammar, and then what I do is I send it to my English teacher.
Really?
Yes,
You're still in contact?
till date, yes, I am. I'll send it to my English teacher, and then she would go through it. She'd give me an honest opinion. Love her for that. Hi Gitanjali ma'am, hi Sarika ma'am, how are you doing? I'll and then um, they will give me their opinions. They'll tell me change this, change that. I'll do that, and then yeah, then it is born.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, my English teachers, my language teachers, they have really helped me.
That's great.
Yeah. So, okay, this, I think we are nearing the end of our interaction session. Any advice do you have for upcoming authors, writers, poets?
I have a message that I need to give to the budding authors and everybody who's planning on writing in the future, for which I'd like to take the help of my book.
Fine, yeah.
So, I'd like to, this is a message that I'd like to give to not just authors but to everybody who's viewing this right now. And here it goes. Loss is inevitable and pain is inevitable. So I won't defend productivity and positivity. For once, I will side with the darker things in life for teaching us the fall. For the fall that sometimes lasts over years, in this case, writer's block, right? The fall that feels like a million feet deep. This book is to the ones lost, not the ones that survived. This book is not to be read to gain strength or knowledge or help. It is to fall on your knees and be vulnerable, grieve and cry. So, any authors who are
Oh my god.
dealing with creative block,
Guys,
you
you
need
have to give it up. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So, wow. Like, I'm still trying to process everything because how, Nandini, how do you do that?
You have to make somebody feel something so that they, come out of their block and they try to go to that length to feel something.
I remember you telling me something about how, an interesting thing that happened while writing this book, how this was a short story and then it
Yes.
became. Can you tell me a bit more about?
Sure. So I was writing the story and it was supposed to be a short story. It was just a 2-page story. But then I recited the story to my parents and they shed a tear. And my father said to me that for the first time I didn't feel alone. And that kind of hit me in the heart. And I was like, this has to become a book. I think if my father needs this kind of help, then there are others out there who need this book or maybe need something, some company to annihilate their loneliness. So yeah.
I think making someone laugh or cry, those are the biggest achievements we can get
That's so true.
as a content creator, as just as working with people, working in entertainment. I think it all boils down to entertainment at a certain point.
Yes.
I remember I once wrote a poem. It was about a mother and a daughter, and the mother is on a deathbed, right? And she is saying something to her daughter. Her daughter is extremely sad, but the mother is sad not because she is dying, but because she'll be leaving her daughter alone in this world. And I remember reciting, I was still in class 11th, I guess. And I remember reciting this poem to my English teacher, Sarika ma'am. And she teared up. And then my friend was with me. We went outside and I teared up. Because just making someone cry, it's such a strong emotion.
You feel so strongly when you make somebody cry.
And I think us as writers, us as content creators, it is our biggest thing to connect with the audience, right?
Absolutely.
And just seeing that outcome, seeing, yes, that is what I wanted.
Exactly.
That is dark. I did not want to make you cry. But that is what I wanted. I wanted to make you feel things.
You wanted to make them feel something and you achieved it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nandini,
Okay.
I'm so happy for you. And I congratulate you on this book.
Thank you.
But we are not ending our podcast right now. We are going to play a game.
Let's go.
Which game are we playing? The classic, Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Let's start with the game. Nandini, we are playing Never Have I Ever. Have you played it?
Yes, I'm a teenager. What do you expect?
Was alcohol involved?
Dude.
Well, okay, that was an answer. So, let's start. Never have I ever Googled myself. Why, Nandini?
I'm an author of 2 books. I Google myself literally every day to show people my books.
Oh, yeah, I am author of no books and I Google myself at least once a month.
Why, Karthik?
Next question.
Never have I ever read an entire book in a day.
I have not.
I have.
Good. No attention span. I cannot do it.
ADHD kicking in.
Don't call me out like that. Okay, next question. Never have I ever laughed so hard I spit out my drink. Don't do it right now. सेट अपना नहीं है वापस पोछा लगाना पड़ेगा अभी शेरन ने गिराया था
नहीं.
When? What was it? Which drink?
So it was just like fruity or something. I don't even remember what it was. I was a child and I spit it out on my mother's face.
Okay. I did not technically spit it out. I was drinking chas मेरी school में and my friend made me laugh so hard the chas came out of my nose. It's hurtful.
Ew.
It's hurtful. Give me sympathy.
No sympathy is disgusting.
Okay. Never have I ever sleepwalked.
I have never. What's the story behind this? I want to know. And
Okay.
how did you know that you were sleepwalking?
I have people at home, Nandini.
But how are they awake?
So, interesting story. I sleepwalk a lot actually. I sleep talk a lot as well. I have full on conversations with my mother while I'm sleeping actively 2 at night. Yes, that is a sleeping time for me. Sleep. And I once walked out of my own house.
What?
Yes, my dad had to grab me back.
Damn.
Your turn.
Never have I ever started a novel that I did not finish.
It's these self-help books. I do not need help. I can help myself. I'm sorry, self-help. I just cannot do self-help books. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Which one was it for you?
Non-fiction. Can't do.
Okay, true. True. Never have I... Oh, this is a personal one. I'm calling you out. Never have I ever corrected someone's grammar in real or online.
So...
You better take a sip.
People often call me a grammar Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And you do accept you are a grammar Nazi.
I do. I
You
graciously
literally-
accept that I'm a grammar Nazi.
Sure. Your turn.
Never have I ever written a story or a poem in a month or less.
No, I write it in a day.
Exactly,
And
like I write it in a
yeah,
moment,
Yeah,
so-
I think it's
so we-
staying.
okay.
I think it's staying.
Yeah.
I don't know how this game works. Never have I ever sang karaoke.
I have so many times. We do it every
We
day.
do it every day.
Cheers to that.
I was singing to Beyonce in the weekend.
And Nicki Minaj.
Oh. Do not bring these things up. I thought this was personal, Nandini.
This was never personal. This went on Snapchat, bro.
So I think this is the end of it. Thank you so much, Nandini.
Thank you for having me.
It is an amazing pleasure to have you on my show, to have you on my team for this show, to have you as my friend.
Thank
And
you.
thanks to you viewers. I hope this project does really well. Please show us your support on all the platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere where you can listen to podcasts. Follow us on our socials. It will be somewhere down here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.
Who's the next guest, Karthik?
You'll know soon.